Start with the prayers. Om Ajnanati Virantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshtarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we had a very lengthy and an exhaustive chapter number 6. It was the Dhyana Yoga, where Krishna explained very clearly about the yoga system. And he said that the yoga system is the process of controlling the mind. And he also gave various secrets or various tips to control the mind. And he also explained how it is so important to be a yogi, that is to be in devotional service, and how it is always going to come back to us, no matter whether we get perfection or not, it is always going to do good for us. So to be in devotional service, to be in a spiritual practice, in God consciousness is a very auspicious activity. And finally, Krishna concluded that, therefore, be a yogi, better than a fruity worker, better than a renunciate, better than a person who is in knowledge, is a yogi. Tasmat yogi bhavarjuna. Be a yogi. And ultimately, he concluded with the verse saying that, of all the yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, who thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is highest of all. That is my opinion. So the last conclusion, the 6th chapter conclusion is, what is the conclusion? What is
Bhakti Yoga is ultimate.
Yeah, it is like, what Krishna is trying to say is that to be serving Krishna, anybody who serves Krishna with 100% faith and surrender, in pure devotional service, such a devotee or that's a yogi or a devotee, whatever you want to call such a person, is the topmost yogi. Tasmat, he said, therefore, this is the topmost system to surrender unto me. One who is always worshipping me, he is considered to be the best. He is the best of all the yogis. Devotee is the best. My devotee is the best, Krishna is saying. Anybody who is worshipping me, he is best, Krishna is saying. Now, after having said this, Krishna is going to start the 7th chapter. So a little bit about background of the 7th chapter. One important point is, it is said that the first 6 chapters are about Karma Yoga, and the middle 6 chapters are Bhakti Yoga, and the last 6 chapters are Jnana Yoga. So now the Bhakti Yoga part has started. It is also said it is like a sandwich, just like a cream biscuit. The cream is in between. Their first 6 chapters, second 6 chapters, we have entered into the cream now. And we will see the first verse of Bhagavad Gita of this chapter number 7, it's called Knowledge of the Absolute. So Krishna is the absolute truth, and he talks about his knowledge of the absolute. So we will see the main point here is this, devotees. Arjuna, he was confused. He surrendered to Krishna. Krishna explained him different paths. He spoke about knowledge. He spoke about working action in Krishna consciousness. He spoke about fire sacrifice, yajna, that is to always work for Krishna. He explained about all of this. And he spoke about mind control through Ashtanga system. And Arjuna said, no, I can't do it. And Krishna said, you have to do it, because mind control is the essence. When you can control your mind, you're going to get liberated. When you can get rid of all the undesirable association and undesirable desires, you will become liberated. Therefore, this is very important. And then he said, yoga system is very powerful, which will help you to control your mind. And among the yogis who are trying to control their mind, yogi is better than everybody. Even the yogi is better than a jnani, yogi is better than karmi, everybody. But the topmost yogi is one who is worshipping me. After having said this, now Arjuna is like in full attention. So Arjuna is hearing in rapt attention. So I would like that all the devotees today please hear with rapt attention, because Krishna just now said something very important, that among all the yogis, the yogi who is always worshipping me is the best, and that will help you to liberate yourself. So please pay attention. If you can turn on your videos, please turn on your videos, and we will see how important each and every verse that we are going to discuss today is. Okay? All right, let us begin, devotees. Hare Krishna. Chapter number 7, Knowledge of the Absolute, first verse. Who is here? Who wants to read this? Who would like to read this verse?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Amrita Mataji, go ahead, please.
I need Sanskrit sloka.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamana Pata Yogam Yujjan Madashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatagnya Satita Shrine. Translation with Divine Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full free from doubt. You can know me in full free from doubt." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Such a beautiful verse. This is such a beautiful chapter. There's so much of knowledge. And the first verse itself is so good. Let's just see what is the goodness of this verse. The first goodness is the first line itself. This chapter starts with Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Krishna is not referred to as Vasudeva or Krishna here. Is referred to as Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Bhagavan means the supreme absolute truth. Maya, let us see this. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Lord said, Mai, to me, Asakta Manaha, mind attached. Partha, O son of Pritha. Partha means Arjuna. Yogam, self-realization. Yunjan, practicing. Mat Ashrayaha, in consciousness of me, Krishna consciousness. Mad Ashrayaha means Krishna consciousness. Taking the shelter of Krishna. Asamshayam, without any doubt. Samagram, completely. Ma, me. Yatha, how. Jnasyasi, you can know. Tat, that. Shrunu, try to hear. Krishna is saying, O son of Pritha, now hear how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with the mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Can you tell me what is the most important instruction that Krishna gave in this verse? What is the most instruction, advice, or do this? What is it that Krishna is saying? Do this. What is that? Do that.
Invest your mind and intelligence in me to know me.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that here.
We should be free from doubt.
He didn't say that also. I mean, he said
Practice yoga.
No, what is the instruction that he's saying?
Practice yoga.
Do this. Do this. He said, do this.
Yeah.
Full consciousness.
Now here, just listen to me.
Yeah, tat shrunu. That's the right thing. It's like now listen. Just listen. Right? Krishna is saying listen. Hear. Now hear. Such a powerful point. Krishna is saying hear. Because only by hearing about Krishna, you can understand completely about Krishna. So only by hearing it is possible. Right? So let us see this. Let us go through the purport very quickly. So in this 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness is fully described. And Krishna is full in all opulences, and how he manifests such opulences is described here. In this chapter, there is very interesting account of 4 people who do not come to Krishna, 4 people who come to Krishna, 4 fortunate people who surrender to Krishna, 4 unfortunate people who do not surrender to Krishna. It's a very beautiful 2 verses. Actually, these two verses I remember we'll discuss in the next class or the next. They're very nice. Very nice to remember. And then usually they ask these questions in the Bhakti Steps interviews. And we fondly remember answering those questions. It is so nice, right? Coming back. So the first 6 chapters, Krishna, in the Bhagavad Gita, living entity has been explained as non-material soul capable of elevating himself to self-realization by different types of yoga. And by the end of 6th chapter, it has been clearly stated that by steady concentration of mind upon Krishna, in other words, Krishna consciousness is the highest form of yoga. So Krishna consciousness is the topmost yoga system. It has already been established by the 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Because Krishna has conclusively said in 6.47, the previous chapter, that among all the yogis, a devotee of Krishna is the best. Now, here there is an important point which says that there are 3 types of realizations. How many of you remember the 3 types of realizations we talked about? The 3, you can understand absolute truth in 3 features. What are the 3
Bhagavan,
features?
Paramatma,
Bhagavan, Paramatma, and what are the 3 features by which we can understand the absolute truth?
Is it Brahman, Prabhuji?
yeah, Brahman,
Brahman,
yeah.
Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Brahman,
Bhagwan.
Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So Brahman is the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, impersonal light that is emanating from Krishna. Paramatma is the localized super soul, that is the localized partial representative of Krishna. That is also partial. Brahman is Brahma Jyoti, which is light of Krishna. That is also partial understanding. Full understanding of Krishna is possible only when he reveals. So one point that we have to note from here is, first point that we have to take away is, we can understand about Krishna only when he reveals it to the devotees. When he reveals it to us, then we understand about him. Otherwise, by our own practice, it can be yoga practice, it can be any kind of practice, we can never realize or understand anything about Krishna or God. Now, so now what has been explained here? Lord is saying that there are 9 forms of devotional service. Krishna said, the best devotee is, best yoga system is that by which you can worship me. And that best system of yoga system is possible by 9 different forms. Okay, how many of you know this 9 forms of devotional service? Can anybody say what are the 9 forms of devotional service?
Shravanam,
Shravanam,
Kirtanam,
Shravanam, Kirtanam,
Smaranam,
Smaranam,
Vishnu Smaranam,
Smaranam,
Padasevanam,
Archanam,
Archanam,
Vandanam,
Dasyam, Sakyam,
Hasyam, Sakyam,
Atmanivedam.
Atmanivedana. So these are so I would recommend you to remember this verse. Okay, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Okay, you should remember this. Very important question. So what are the 9 forms of devotional service? Right. So what is the first that is mentioned in this 9 forms of devotional service?
Shravanam, hearing, listening.
So
Swaranam Kirtanam.
what does it begin with? So this 9 forms of devotional service, it is said by Prahlad Maharaj that this is the topmost process for self-realization. There is no better process than this, the 9 forms of devotional service. And among all of this, the first and foremost, there is a good reason why it's mentioned first. What's that?
Shravanam.
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 Hear, first hear. So only when you hear, you become Krishna conscious. So the first point is, very important takeaway of this verse is Tat Shrunu. Krishna is saying, now listen. Krishna is going to speak and we have to very attentively hear. Right? Why should we attentively hear? Because Krishna has already established about the importance of being a great yogi, the best yogi. He has established that, and now he is telling here. So we have to very carefully hear. So we will hear from him. And there is something really amazing here. Very amazing. The process of hearing. What can hearing do? What can hearing do? Nothing. What can hearing do? So the process of hearing can do something very important. Okay, I would like somebody to read this. Srinvatam Swakata Krishna. Who want to read this?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Shranavatam swa katha Krishna पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्थो यभद्राणि विदुनोति सतां नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी तदा राजस्तमो भावाः कामलोभादयश्च ये चेत एतैरनाविद्धं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्नो मनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते भिद्यते हृदयग्रन्थिश्छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयाः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank
you,
you much.
Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you. So, we can think, what can hearing do? What is so special about hearing? Generally, spiritual process means what? Abstaining from sense gratification. So just like the Buddhists or the Jnanis, they are trying to abstain. For example, they don't try to eat something which is very tasty. They will avoid eating something very nice, kheer or something. Or they'll not try enjoying their senses. Abstination. That's what we think, right? So that means stop your senses. Like the three monkeys. Close your eyes, close your ears, close your mouth. But here, Krishna is saying, open your ears. He's not saying close your ears. Shrunvatam. So what happens when you hear? Shrunvatam swakata Krishna. When you hear about Krishna, punya shravana kirtanaha. That itself is a very auspicious activity. It's a 0-calorie activity. Doesn't require you to do anything, because hearing doesn't require you to do anything except you to be attentive. You have to attentively hear. That's important. Sit down attentively, hear attentively. What happens next? Hrudyantastohi abhadrani vidunoti surutsatam. That means it is going to cleanse our heart. Vidunoti. It's like a cleansing for our heart. Our heart is going to get cleansed by this hearing process. And then what happens? Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu. We read this verses always, right? Before Bhagavatam class. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Simply by hearing. If you continuously hear, first is hearing, it converts into chanting. First you hear a lot. When you can hear about Krishna, you cannot stop from talking about Krishna. Then starts Kirtana. Then you start glorifying about Krishna. Then you start talking about this. Do you know? Bhagavad Gita is so interesting. Do you know? Krishna is so great. Like that. That is Kirtana. And when you do this Shravana and Kirtana, what happens is Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu. All the unwanted things inside our heart, like Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya, all these anarthas, like enviousness, jealousy, anger, lust, all of this will be gone. By doing what? Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. By serving the devotee of the Lord. By serving the devotee of the Lord. Nitya Bhagavata means a person who is living by the book Bhagavatam is called as a Bhagavata. And what happens next after Anartha Nivrutti? What happens after all the anarthas are gone? Then comes Nishta. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Then towards Krishna we will get one-pointed devotion. We will become devotees of Krishna. Fixed in our devotional service. What happens next? It's a process, okay? Tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayaschaye cheta yetair anavidhim stitam sattve prasidati. The problem in us is this rajas and tamas. The mode of passion and mode of ignorance. The mode of passion, the mode of ignorance, the lusty desires and the greed that is there inside us will be gone. See, it all starts with hearing. And see how, step by step progression is happening. And then, Sthitam Sattve Prasidati. Then we will be established in the mode of goodness. Then what happens when you come to the mode of goodness? You transcend to the mode of pure goodness. Then, Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. Then our heart becomes very peaceful by doing this Bhakti Yoga. And then Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam, we get the Tattva Vijnan, we get the knowledge of the Absolute, we get knowledge of Krishna. And then Mukta Sangasya Jayate, we become liberated. Bhidyante Hridaya Grandhis Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha Kshiyante Chasya Karmani Drishta Evatmanishware. Then we will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead within our heart, within the hearts of everybody. We will be able to see Him, because all the misgivings within our heart, all the knots which are there, all the knots of material existence, you see there's a lot of knots. What happens when there is a lot of knot? You have to remove all of the knots. So all the knots will be removed, and we will be able to understand about Krishna. Therefore, here the important point here is the Bhakti Yoga cuts this knot of material affection. There is a knot. We have to remove that knot through hearing. This brings us to the stage of Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Jnasasi Tachrunu. Asamshayam Samagram means complete knowledge of Krishna. We'll get complete knowledge of Krishna by doing this process of hearing. So therefore, devotees, everybody here very carefully, Krishna is telling about something very serious, very important. Let's see what else is going to happen when we hear about Krishna, and what is it that he's going to tell in this chapter. So any devotee wants to read the second verse.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
May I try, Prabhuji? Yeah, Bhagavad Gita 7.2. Jnanam teham samvikya navidam vaksham shveshatah yajnantva neham bhuyo anyajya gyata vyam avishyate. Translation: I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Says Jnanam Teham Savijnanam. Let us see the synonyms. Jnana means phenomenal knowledge. Te, unto you. Aham, I. Sa, with. Vijnanam, numinous knowledge. Idam, this. Vakshyami, shall explain. Asheshataha, in full. Yat, which. Jnatva, knowing. Na, not. Iha, in this world. Bhuya, further. Anyat, anything more. Jnatavyam, knowable. Avashishyate. Very nice. Krishna is saying Jnanam Teham Savijnanam. That means Jnanam Savijnanam. Means he is going to give the theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge. So, you see, in our school, in our college, we have theory and labs, right? So, why do you think labs are so important? I mean, why don't we just do the theory and stop there? Can anybody answer? Why do we have separate labs? Why do we have practicals?
Prabhuji, theory is more for our understanding, but when we do labs or practical things, it's more basically we basically learn how to apply things in our life.
Yeah. Which one has more value?
The application, Prabhuji.
Application has more value. And for application, we do require some knowledge, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And sometimes application can be done even without knowledge also. But it is better if we can apply with knowledge, then it will be the best. Agreed? Therefore, Krishna is saying, I will give you knowledge, jnanam, savijnanam. I'll give you both. Practical knowledge, theoretical knowledge. Both of them I will give you. So you know what this basically means is, there are so many empirical philosophers who all theoretically understand, okay, that Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am spirit soul, I am not the body. But they are not able to experience it, nor are they able to act like Brahman. So if you are somebody, if you know that you are this, you are supposed to be acting like that, isn't it? So there is a practical aspect of everything, isn't it? Once you know that, you should practically do it. Until you did not know, you did not know. Once you know it, You cannot unknow it, because now you know it. And now that you know it, you have to be that. Simple, isn't it? You have to be that. You cannot be anything which is not that. Just like you see, let us say there was a somebody who got hired, okay, in a company, and then after he came inside, he did not know what was his role. Okay, he did not know what was he supposed to be doing, what is his title, what is his role. He doesn't know anything. So he's coming and roaming around, and he's just loitering in the office and going away. So one day they called him and they said, see, you're hired for this position, and your responsibility is to do this, this, this. So from the next day, what is he expected to do? Is he expected to work and do the responsibilities, or is it just for his knowledge that every day he will come, he'll go to the canteen and he will say, I am so and so, I'm a senior data analyst and my job is this, and he'll just say that and he'll go home every day. Is that okay? It's not okay. It doesn't make sense. He has to act like one, correct? Similarly, this knowledge, there are so many people who understand this knowledge. It's very easy to say, I'm not the body, I'm the soul, etc. But Vijnana, to act like the spirit soul, is to serve the Supreme Lord. So that Krishna is going to explain how to act like the soul, how to act on a spiritual platform. That personal, practical realization aspect is what Krishna is going to explain. Okay, so let's just go through this. Another second important point that we have to take away from this. First one was Krishna is going to give us knowledge and practical knowledge, both practical, realized knowledge. Second important point is this being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. So that means Krishna is going to reveal something so powerful, so important, that there's nothing else that is remaining to be known. So it says, you see, the Mundaka Upanishad is saying, Kasminnu bhagavo vijñate sarvamidam vijñatam bhavatiti. After knowing this, there is nothing that is remaining to be known. That means you have known everything. Nobody can claim that I know everything. But if you know about Krishna, you can say, I know everything. Okay, so let's go forward. Third verse.
May I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna. Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschit yattati siddhyaye yatatham api siddhanam kaschin mam viti tatvataha. Translation: Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who had achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. He says here, one important point. Okay, let's note. Manushyanam sahasreshu. Manushya means what? Manushya means human beings. So, why did Krishna say Manushyanam sahasreshu? Why did Krishna say, what is the significance of this saying among human beings? Can anybody say?
Prabhuji, only human beings have consciousness and they can understand.
Only human beings can understand this knowledge. So that means this knowledge is for human beings. It's not for the animals. So when we are in a human form of life, we should take it very seriously and we should understand this knowledge. Because when we are not in the human form of life, then we may not be able to understand this knowledge. So therefore, we should be taking it very seriously. That is the first point. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye. There may be thousands of people who are aiming for spiritual liberation. They may take to different kinds of practices. The Vedas give thousands of methods for spiritual realization. But among all those people who are attempting to become self-realized, and even among those who have successfully self-realized, even among them, and of those who have achieved perfection, saying yatatam api siddhanam, of those who are endeavoring, api siddhanam, api indeed siddhanam, of those who have already achieved perfection. Kaschit mam veti tattvataha. Kaschit means someone. Mam means me. Veti means does not know. In fact, what it basically means is hardly even the self-realized souls cannot understand about Krishna. That means this knowledge of Krishna is only for very selected few rare of the 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 rarest of the rarest of the rarest people. So I can say that if you are getting to hear this, you are among like 0.0000001% of the entire population who is getting this privilege to hear about Krishna. So, and then, mind you, it is not out of your endeavor that you are getting to hear this. It is because Krishna is saying, I reveal to them whom I select. I mean, Krishna selects who should get this knowledge. It is not out of our endeavor. We cannot go and say, Krishna, give me your knowledge. We will not get that knowledge. It is Krishna who selects. So, we should be really proud about it and happy about it. That we are so lucky, we are so lucky to hear this directly from Krishna about the knowledge of the God, because hardly anybody knows. So we are in the top 0.00001% among the entire population. Let's see this. So there are different types of self-realization act. There are different types of yoga systems. Krishna himself explained about the Jnana Yoga in the chapter 4. He explained about Ashtanga Yoga in chapter number 6, like that. So the yogis and jnanis, they try to understand Krishna, but their realization is only partial. So they fail to understand Krishna. Actually, they get confused. See, here is an important point. Prabhupada is saying, even among the greatest of the impersonalists, Sripada Shankaracharya has admitted in the Gita commentary that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Shankaracharya himself said in Gita commentary that Narayana para avyaktat. So Narayana is beyond this material world. He is para. But even then his followers do not accept Krishna as topmost. That means even those who are having Brahman realization also cannot understand Krishna. That means Brahman realization is not an enough qualification to understand Krishna. We have to transcend Brahman realization to understand Krishna. Then who is Krishna? Here, very beautifully explained. I would like anybody to read this purport from here. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, please.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord Govinda, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. It is very difficult for the non-devotees to know him. Although non-devotees declare that the path of bhakti or devotional service is very easy, they cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy as the non-devotee class of men proclaim, then why do they take up the difficult path? Actually, the path of bhakti is not easy. The so-called path of bhakti practiced by unauthorized persons without knowledge of bhakti may be easy. But when it is practiced factually according to the rules and regulations, the speculative scholars and philosophers fall away from the path. Srila
Okay.
Rupa
Please
Goswami
stop
writes
there.
in his Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So there is a very beautiful verse in Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita is the prayers done by Lord Brahma, who is the primary living entity in this world. So he is like the creator of this material world. He says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadir Adi Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. So he is saying that Parameshwara is Krishna, the topmost supreme personality of Godhead is Krishna, and he is the Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. And it is said very nicely. Here it said, those people who are not devotees, I said that, in India, there are different types of practitioners. There's some impersonalists. Some people do different kinds of meditation system, etc., etc. Everybody says, but everybody in India says the same thing. Bhakti is the easiest path. Bhakti is the easiest path. They say that. But they say bhakti is very easy, but they don't do it. They take up something very difficult, something which is impossible to do. They go on an impossible path. They don't take it. Why? Because bhakti is actually not easy. Simply to sit down in a class simply to hear in the class, simply to chant, simply to follow all the rules, regulations given by the Acharya, that is very difficult. So if you want to do bhakti in a very cheap way, in a very natural, what do you say, in our own speculative way, that is very easy. Everybody does that. But that kind of so-called bhakti is not authorized by the acharyas. So therefore, it's a very important point, okay? When we do bhakti, how should we do bhakti? That bhakti should be authorized by scriptures. This is an important verse which says, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidim Vina Aikanta Ki Harer Bhakti Utpatayaiva Kalpate. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like Upanishads, Puranas, and Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in the society. That means we have to follow the scriptures. And that's why our acharyas have distilled the scriptures. You see, I'll tell you, the 6 Goswamis, there are 6 Goswamis. I'll tell you some interesting story here, okay? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had 6 important followers. Among them, we have the Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Jiva Goswami, and we have the Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami. So Gopala Bhatta Goswami is from the south. He's from the temple town of Ranganath. So Gopala Bhatta Goswami, what he did was, upon the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went through all the Vedic literature. He read all the Vedic literatures, Puranas, Vedas, Upanishads, Pancharatra texts, all of them, and then distilled the necessary important literature with respect to Krishna consciousness. So anything about Krishna, anything with respect to Krishna consciousness, he collected all of it, and then that was developed by Sanatana Goswami, and that became Hari Bhakti Vilasa. That became the book Hari Bhakti Vilasa. And this book Hari Bhakti Vilasa is a voluminous text which explains about all the things that devotees of Krishna or Vishnu are supposed to be doing. And that Hari Bhakti Vilasa has been further distilled by Rupa Goswami into the book called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So ultimately Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is like the distilled version of the Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, all the Pancharatra texts, which explains us how to do bhakti. How many of you have Hari Bhakti? How many of you have Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu with you? Please raise your hands. Let me see. Any one of you has Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu with you here? Nobody has Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay. So next time when you go to ISKCON, please ask for
is it called the nectar?
Nectar of
Is
devotion.
it called
It's called the nectar of
devotion
devotion.
or?
It's called the nectar of devotion.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Please get this nectar of devotion. Very powerful book. Very distilled version of how to do bhakti. Every aspect of bhakti has been explained there. Okay. So that's a very important point. So this is Hari Bhakti Vilasa. And the point here, it is being said by Rupa Goswami, is that we have to do devotional service as mentioned in the scriptures. Right? So we are seeing how people are doing different types of bhakti, and it is going to some other level. Like people are going crazy. I mean, recently we have seen in the name of bhakti, people are doing some crazy stuff. Right? Don't need to mention like what all they are doing. Right? For example, there are some people who are taking intoxication and they're dancing in the festivals and whatnot they are doing in the name of bhakti. So that kind of things should be avoided. Okay? Not following the scriptures. Trying to do whimsically, I'll do just whatever comes to my mind, I'll just do it. Right? So I'm going somewhere and somebody says, okay, would you like to buy this Shaligram Shila? I'll buy it. How much it is? 1,000 rupees. Okay, take 1,000. Okay, give me for 500, not 1,000. I won't give you 500. Okay, fine. Give me 700. Okay, I'll give 700. Take Shaligram Shila. Keep it at home. I'll go somewhere. I'll say, okay, Laddu Gopal. How much? Bring Laddu Gopal. Oh, Radha Krishna deities. Very nice. Bring the Radha Krishna deities. So like this, we should not do bhakti. Okay. So there is a procedure for it. Right? How we are supposed to do Ekadashi, how we are supposed to break the fast for Ekadashi, how we are supposed to worship Shaligrama Shila. Everything has been explained in the Shastras. Right? And how we should do Mangalarti for the Lord. All of this has been explained in the scripture. So like that we have to do. And chanting has no rules for sure. But there are some offenses which we have to avoid. Even that has been explained. If we continue to do offensive chanting, you know what happens? It's something very simple, okay? I'll tell you something very, 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 very simple. Just try to listen. There was a lady who was trying to broom her house, okay? As she was trying to broom the room, right? She was, cleaning the room, sweeping it. Her child was putting littering all over. So ultimately, what happens at the end of her cleaning? What happened? Effectively, what happened? Did something happen or not? She's cleaning and somebody is putting litter immediately.
The purpose of cleaning is lost, Prabhuji. There's
Purpose of
no.
cleaning is lost, right? So what we understand is this hearing and chanting is a purification process. So when we are purifying ourselves and yet we continue to not follow the instructions, what happens is just like that. Yes, no doubt you are purifying yourself. No doubt it is very powerful process. But at the same time, we are adding impurity to the process. And then effectively it is just remaining the same. Effectively the progress could have been so much, but the progress has become very less, just like that. Okay, we have doctors here, right? I'll ask Kalyani Mataji, okay, Mataji, like, okay, let's say if somebody is taking treatment, okay, so and still not following your instructions, what would happen to him? Would the treatment be effective? You give him some drops, but then he would not listen to your instructions, what would happen? Will that get treated?
I've told one patient, very, very influential patient, who was at least 4 times elder to me, and maybe in the first year of my consultation post, please don't come to me if you don't follow me.
Okay.
So after that he liked me so much. I just told him simply, you may be anybody in this world, I don't care. If you don't want to follow me, please don't visit me next time. Ever since then till date, he calls me up and he says, I cannot forget your advice.
Yeah.
I was too small. I don't know how it came to me, Prabhuji. I just told him these words.
Yes.
For glaucoma. Because
Okay.
it's a progressive disease, and if you don't use the drops, nobody can control it.
Right.
He is the A.K. Khan's father-in-law.
Okay. And there'll be some don'ts also, right? You'll also say some
Yes,
don'ts,
yes,
like,
don't also,
stay away
yes.
from dusty particles.
Steroids, all those things.
Yeah, there'll be some don'ts. But if they don't follow the don'ts, what will be you're taking medicine on one side, but you're not following the don'ts very strictly, then effectively, actually, nothing is happening, right?
No, they'll in fact worsen the disease.
That will worsen the disease. That may even worsen.
Yes, that will worsen.
That's right. Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Matas. Thank you for adding that. So, what we have to, how we are connecting back here is, Rupa Goswami is saying in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that devotional service that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like Upanishads, Puranas, Narada Pancharatrika is simply an unnecessary disturbance in the society. It becomes more of a disturbance than any spiritual process, right? So why is this being said here is because it is easy to practice bhakti without the knowledge of bhakti, but we have to practice it in a proper way, right? So why are we talking about all of this is, why is it that hardly somebody knows in truth? Even though there are thousands of people who are trying to understand about Krishna, there are some people who are already self-realized. Everybody knows about Krishna Nama, everybody knows about Krishna, everybody knows that chanting is the best, but still they don't do it. That's because of this. That's because of this neglectful attitude that I will do it the way I think is right. In that way, we can never understand Krishna. So it is not possible for the Brahman. Okay, I would request one of the devotees to read from here. It's very important. Somebody read this. It is not possible for the Brahman realized. But yes.
May I,
Yes,
Prabhuji?
please. Yeah, go ahead.
It is not possible for Brahman realized impersonalist or the Paramatma realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Muyanti yat suraya. Mam tu veda na kaschana, no one knows me as I am, the Lord says. And if one does know him, then sa Mahatma su durlabha, such a great soul is very rare. Therefore, unless one practices devotional service to the Lord, one cannot know Krishna as he is tatvatha. Even though one is a great scholar or philosopher, only the pure devotees can know something of the inconceivable transcendental qualities in Krishna. His being the cause of all causes, his omnipotence and opulence, and his wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, because Krishna is benevolently inclined to his devotees. He is the last word in the Brahman realization, and the devotees alone can realize him as he is.
Hare Krishna.
Therefore, it is said,
Let's
Ataha
stop here.
Shri
Mataji, you can stop here.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you very much.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So the point is, out of thousands of people who are endeavoring for spiritual perfection, some of them get perfection, that is liberation. And among even those among people who have completely liberated also, hardly somebody knows about Krishna in truth. So now finally, how do you understand about Krishna? Then what is the process to understand Krishna? What is the right authorized process for knowing Krishna? Here is the process. अतः श्रीकृष्ण नामादि न भवेत् ग्राह्यम् इन्द्रियैः सेवन्मुखे हि जिह्वादौ स्वयमेव स्फुरद्यतः. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. So it all starts when Krishna reveals himself. Okay, we cannot understand by our blunt senses, but by Ata Shri Krishna Nama Adi. Shri Krishna Nama Adi. That is like Krishna's name, fame, form, pastimes, his opulences. We won't be able to understand. But Sevan Mukhe hi Jivado. When you start loving devotional service, starting with Jiva, you should start with the tongue. Okay, it all starts with tongue. We have to start serving Krishna with the tongue first. How can you serve Krishna with the tongue? Can anybody say there are two ways to serve Krishna with the tongue? How?
Chanting and eating
Chanting.
prasadam.
Prasadam.
Chanting and eating prasadam. By chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you are serving Krishna. By eating prasadam, you are serving Krishna. Such a nice process, right? It's so beautiful. First thing that Krishna said is here. Now Krishna is saying chant. Next Krishna is telling eat. You eat and become liberated. How many of you want to eat nice prasadam and become liberated? Right? So nice. Okay, let's go to the next one. In this, we will understand about Krishna's now Krishna is actually going to talk about himself. Who is he and what is the relationship between all the things that we see in the universe? We will see. Very beautiful, very important, and very philosophically deep. I would like any devotee to please read
Hare
this.
Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Text 4. Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirev cha ahangara iti yamme vinna prakrita ashtadha. Hare Krishna. Yeah, translation: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these 8 constitute my separated material energies. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So it's so important, okay? You know, the first word in the Vishnu Sahasranam is, what is it? Anybody can say? What is the first word of Vishnu Sahasranam? Who reads Vishnu Sahasranam regularly? 1,000 names of Vishnu. What's the first name of?
This is
Vishwam,
Vishwam, Prabhuji. Vishwam,
Vishwam.
Vishwam.
It's Vishwam.
Vishwam, Vishnu,
Vishwam, Vishnu. Yes, it starts with Vishwam. He's saying Vishwam is the universe, the creation. So creation is him, but how is creation him? That is what here explained, okay? The creation is made up of this earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are the 8 elements which constitute the creation. The combination of these 8 things constitute the entire material nature. And Krishna is saying, this material nature is my separated material energy. That means whatever we are seeing, physically seeing, touching, drinking, the feeling, hearing, a mind, intelligence, false ego, everything is energy of Krishna. It is his energy. Krishna is saying they're my energies. But one important point to note here is Bhinna Prakritirashtada. Bhinna is a very important word that we have to understand. Bhinna means separated. It is separated. It is not combined with him, but separated from him. What you mean by separated is this, okay? Let us say I am giving a live class in Zoom now, correct? And I am recording this class, correct? And this recording, I'll put it on YouTube, correct? Now this recording, which is my voice, it's my face, me talking, is it separated or combined with me? Is it self-same as me or it is separated from me?
Separated.
It is separated, no? It is separated from me. It is separated from me by time. Similarly, so this recording has come from me, but it is not same as me. Something like that. For example, if somebody goes for a haircut or removes your nails, for example, okay? Once you cut it, it's not a part of your body anymore. It came from you, it's yours, but not anymore. It's still separate. So it's like that, okay? The material nature is separate from Krishna, yet it is coming from him only. Therefore, there is difference and similarity both. But what is the most important point that we have to understand is material nature is his separated energy. And let us try to understand, there's a very powerful point that Prabhupada brings here, that who is controlling the material nature? This creation, material creation, the material universes, Brahmandas, the universes, multiverse, who is controlling them? Okay, here is a very important verse. Vishnostu trini rupani purushakyanya ato viduhu ekam tu mahatah shrashtar dvitiyam tu anda samsthitam tritiyam sarva bhutastam tani jnatva vimuchyate. Can anybody read this?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please.
For material creation, Lord Krishna's plenary expansion assumes three Vishnus. The first one is Mahavishnu, creates the total material energy, known as Mahattva. The second, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, enters into the universe to create diversities in each of them. The third, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, is diffused as all-pervading supersoul in all the universes and is known as Paramatma. He is present even within the atoms. Anyone who knows these three Vishnus can be liberated from the material entanglements. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes. Here, Prabhupada is introducing the concept of how many Vishnus? How many Vishnus?
Three
Three
Vishnus.
Vishnus, Prabhu.
Three Vishnus. Who are these three Vishnus? I want all of you to please close your eyes for a moment. Okay? I want you to imagine. Okay? Now, you will close your eyes and I'll tell you as you will imagine now. Okay? So now, imagine there is Mahavishnu sleeping. Mahavishnu is, everybody will close your eyes. Mahavishnu is sleeping in the causal ocean. And he is glancing at a lump of matter, that is Mahattattva. He is glancing at it, and the material creation starts from there. And when he is exhaling, just imagine, countless universes are coming out of the skin pores from him. Countless universes coming out from his skin pores. He is exhaling, countless universes coming out from him. So these universes, there are thousands of bubbles around him, which all have come. Now he is entering into each one of them. Now imagine him entering into one of them. Just imagine one bubble now, which expanded now. This small bubble expanded into very big. Now he is sitting there as Garbhodakashai Vishnu, and from his navel there is a lotus flower coming, and from that lotus flower came Lord Brahma, and that stalk, lotus stalk, which is coming from his navel, constitutes the 14 planetary systems. Now imagine this Garbhodakashai Vishnu becoming into Kshirodakashai Vishnu, third Vishnu, and entering into each and every living entity in the universe, entering into each and every atom in the universe. Now open your eyes. So now tell me, who is the enjoyer of this universe? Who is the enjoyer of this universe? Who is making the universe move? Who is creating the universe? Yeah.
Vishnu, Lord Vishnu.
Krishna, Mahavishnu, Krishna,
Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu.
Mahatma.
So it is Mahavishnu who is creating all the universes, who is entering into the universe, from whom Lord Brahma is born, from whom the 14 planetary systems are created, from whom all these material energies, earth, water, fire, are coming. 16 elements, 24 elements, all of them are coming from him, and he is entering into each and every living entity as Paramatma, and he is entering into each and every atom of the entire universe, and yet we cannot see him. He is everywhere, but we cannot see him. So the point here Prabhupada is explaining here is very important, that this material world is run by these three Purushas. They are called Purusha. They are called Purusha Avatara. Purusha means controller or enjoyer. These three are the real Purushas. They are the real controllers. But what do we think? We are the enjoyer, don't we? So now tell me, is this universe being created? For whose enjoyment has this universe been created? Is it for the enjoyment of these three Purushas, or is it for the enjoyment of the living entities who falsely think themselves to be Purusha? They are thinking, I am Purusha. I will enjoy. It is for my creation. Now, I will enjoy this material world. Who is the real Purusha? Right? So that is the important point we have to understand. Right? So everything is coming from Vishnu. Everything is coming from Vishnu. That is a very important point we have to understand. Okay? And the source of Vishnu is Vaikuntha Narayana, and the source of Vaikuntha Narayana is Krishna. So ultimately, Krishna is the original enjoyer, and this material creation, all the nature, everything is just a separated material energy of Krishna. It is just a dead lump of matter. The energy cannot move without the command of the energetic. How many of you are understanding what I'm saying? Energy is in full control of the energetic. Energy does not control the energetic. So the material nature is subservient to Krishna. It is in fact the external energy of Krishna. How many of you understand things better now? Okay? So anybody who says that this 24 elements is all in all, there is something called as atheistic Sankhya philosophy, where it says material nature is all in all. Some scientists say material nature is all in all. The scientists say that, we are able to do so many things here, we are able to invent so much, but they are only, handling the 5 aspects. That is earth, water, fire, air, ether. That's it. They're not even having access to mind, intelligence, and false ego. They don't have access to mind. They don't have intelligence. They don't have access to intelligence. They don't have access to false ego. It is said that in the US, there are thousands of people who go to psychiatrists for getting their treatment for their mind. And many psychiatrists themselves go to other psychiatrists to get their mind in control. So it means that there's nobody who is actually having their mind in control. Right? So we cannot control our mind by artificial processes. Right? So these 3 items, mind, intelligence, and false ego, are beyond the control of even the scientists. Okay, now let us see Krishna is going to explain about a higher energy of Krishna beyond this material nature. Let us see this. Who wants to read this? Anybody wants to read this?
Prabhu, may I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
अपरेयम् इतस्तव अन्यं प्रकृतिं विधि मे परं जीवाभूतं महाबाहो ययेदं धार्यते जगत्. Translation. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Very simple words. What this basically means is, tell me something from what we have read so far in Bhagavad Gita. What is more important? Is it the body or the soul within the body?
Soul within the body.
Soul within
Soul
the
within
body.
the
Soul
body.
within the body is more important than the body itself, because the moment the soul exits out of this body, the body is dead. Just like how within our body we have a soul, that is our spirit soul, this universe has a soul, that is Vishnu. Vishnu is the soul of the universe. Just like we are the soul within this body. If you imagine the universe as a body, the soul within that body, which is the universe constituting of entire material creation, all the living entities, that soul is Vishnu, that is the super soul. So what it basically means is, he is on a higher platform. He is on a higher platform, right? So that means our body is empowered by the soul, and all of us, even all the souls, are empowered by Vishnu. So that's what he's saying, that the jiva, let's go. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho. He's saying jiva bhutam. What this means? Let's say apara means inferior, iyam means this, ita means besides this, tu, but, anyam, another, prakritim, energy, vidhi, just try to understand, me, my, param, superior, jiva bhutam, comprising the living entities, mahabaho, O mighty Arjuna, yaya, by whom, idam, this, dharyate, is utilized by or exploited, jagat, the material world. So there is another superior energy beyond these 8 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Beyond false ego is the soul, not super soul, is the soul, living entity, jiva. So atma or jivatma is beyond these 8 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, and jiva. And Krishna is saying that jiva is my energy. Krishna is saying prakriti. He's saying prakriti. He's telling jiva as prakriti. Are you understanding what Krishna is trying to say? He's saying that we are material nature. So we should not think that we are the enjoyer. We are not Purusha. There is nobody who is a Purusha. Actually, philosophically, you say Purusha means male, Purusha means controller, Prakriti means enjoyed, which is material nature. But in fact, these are just material designations. Whether it is a male or a female, both of them are Prakriti. There is no Purusha at all in living entities. Are you understanding the philosophy? There is only one Purusha, Vishnu. Right? It's called as a Purushottama. There is only one Purusha. There is only one enjoyer. That is Vishnu. That's it. All of us are his energy. And he is the energetic. Okay, so some people and some philosophies try to equate the living entity with the super soul. But how is it possible? It is not logical. How is it possible? Krishna is very clearly saying here that jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. He's saying prakritim me vidhi me param. He's saying it's my energy. These living entities, he's saying all the living entities are my prakriti, they are my nature. But they are tatastha shakti. Tatastha shakti means what? Marginal energy. Marginal. So we are speaking about, first we spoke about external energy. Then now we are speaking about marginal energy. That means which is not so external, at the same not so internal, but in between. Not external, not internal, between. Marginal potency. So we are marginal Tatastha Shakti of Krishna. So everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. Everybody is actually a servant of Krishna. We may know it, we may not know it. When we know it, we become liberated. As long as we do not know it, we do not accept it, we will keep on taking births in this material world again and again. We'll be going through the suffering and enjoyment as per our karma, and that cycle goes on and on. Okay? So there is a nice logic here which is given Srimad Bhagavatam. There are some people who are saying that living entities are same as Krishna. Atma is same as Paramatma, but that's not possible. Because if all the living entities are equal to you, then there will be no control in the world. Just imagine if you're playing chess. Let's start a chess game, okay? The game of chess. And each and every pawn is a queen. How will that game be? Is it practical? Would you like to try that game? All of them are queens. Everything is a queen. Everything has a supreme power. Everybody is a supreme lord. I am the supreme lord. You are supreme lord. Everybody is supreme. Is it possible? It's meaningless. Doesn't fit the logic. There is one supreme under control of which all the other living entities are there. They are all under the control of that supreme. And when they surrender unto that supreme, they become liberated. When they don't surrender unto him, they are in the material world. This is such a simple logic to understand. So the monistic theory which says that Atma is equal to Paramatma is a faulty and a polluted opinion. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam is saying. Actually, that's a faulty opinion. It's a polluted opinion. If you think that we are equal to Krishna, it's actually a kind of an offense and it is polluted kind of a mindset. It's wrong. Okay, we should think that we are the servant of Krishna. Okay, let's go to the next verse. This is very important. Now, in this verse, Krishna establishes the connection between, first he spoke about the matter, next he spoke about the spirit soul. Now he is establishing what is the relationship between that matter, spirit soul and him. Who would like to read this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So, verse number 7.6. Etad yonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya aham kritsnasya jagatah prabhavav pralayas. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All created beings have their source in these two natures. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let's go to the word by word meaning. Thank you, Mataji. Etat. See, primarily Krishna spoke about two things, isn't it? So far, two important concepts we heard. The first concept was material energy, which is constituting of the 8 elements of the material energy. Second one was the Jiva Bhuta, living entities. Correct? Now when he's saying Etat, these two natures, Yonini, whose source of birth, Bhutani, everything created, Sarvani, all, Iti, thus, Upadharaya, no, Aham, I, Kritsnasya, all inclusive, Jagataha, of the world, Prabhavaha, the source of manifestation, Pralayaha, annihilation, Tatha, as well. He is saying, Etat yonini bhutani prabhavaha pralayah tata. Prabhavaha means source. So he is saying, I am the source of these two, matter and spirit. Krishna is the source of matter. Krishna is the source of spirit. Pralayaha, Krishna is the annihilation of the source, soul and annihilation of the spirit, both. Both of them get generated by Krishna, matter and spirit. Both of them get annihilated by Krishna. Now, who is more important? Is it the material nature, or is it the living entities, or Krishna? Who is the most powerful among these three?
Krishna.
Krishna. Krishna is saying all these have their source in all the created beings have source in these two natures. You see, every human being, everything is constitution of two things. That is Prakriti and Purusha, Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Combination of Prakriti and Purusha, that is soul and matter. Okay, for anything to exist, there needs to be a soul. For an animal or a human being to move, as long as there is the body and the soul within, then that's a person. Right? And Krishna is saying here that it's combination of matter and spirit, and both matter and spirit are actually coming from him and going inside him. So ultimately he is the source, he is the Prabhavaha, he is the Pralayaha. Right? That's what Krishna is trying to say here. Okay. So one important point we can take away from this is the living entities are fragmental part and parcel of the Lord. You see, living entities are fragmental part and parcel of the Lord. We are like a small, minute, tiny part of the Lord. So we may create a big skyscraper building, we may create the entire city, but we do not create the universe, right? Nobody can claim that I created the universe. But Krishna claims that this I created the universe. But we cannot compete with Krishna. We can create small buildings. We cannot create the universe. We cannot create multiple universes. Forget about creating multiple universes. We can't even create one universe. But the Supreme Lord can create all the universes. Right? So here is a nice verse. Kathopanishad says, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. That means among all those who are eternal, Lord is the eternal. Among all those who is conscious, is the most conscious, super conscious. So a simple statement is like, just imagine a moon and stars. So moon is Krishna, stars are us. There are unlimited stars, but there is only one moon, which is better than all of them put together. In the sense of when you look at it, there may be so much of twinkling that can happen from the stars, but only moon gives enough light, right? So all these dots, they are insignificant. So that is God. Okay, let's go to the next verse, where Krishna very clearly explains who he is. Let's see who he is. This is so powerful. Okay, last verse of the day. Who wants to read this?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, please.
Matta parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya mayi sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. This is a very important verse. Matta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. That means there is no truth superior to me. Very clear. This is like the Vedic statement. There is no truth superior to Krishna. Period. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Right? So, when you see a pearl's necklace, what do you see? Do you see the pearls or do you see the thread that is putting them together?
Pearl.
You see only the pearls, but do you get to see the thread? How is the thread significant or not, which puts these pearls together?
Exactly. It is.
It's the most significant thing, but you can't see it. But then you cannot deny that it is not so important just because you cannot see it. Similarly, Krishna, we may not be able to see him, but he is put together this entire creation like the thread which is putting all these pearls together. Okay, so an interesting thing here, there's a common controversy whether Supreme Absolute Lord is personal or impersonal, but Krishna is again and again saying that me, and he's using words like me, for my pleasure, I will eat, I will accept, I will be happy, surrender unto me, serve me. He's saying that I'm a person, and the word is saying Purusha, Purushottama, serve me. He's saying very clearly that he's a person. Okay, he's not impersonal, right? He's a supreme personality of Godhead. So, but then the monis, they try to, interpret selectively certain verses of the Upanishads. They selectively interpret and try to establish monism by saying, see, here Lord said he is impersonal. Lord is saying impersonal. Here it's written arupam. But wherever Lord says, wherever the words are like arupam and things like that, what it basically means is that Lord is having a spiritual body. A spiritual body is not like a material body. That's why it is said as arupam. Arupam doesn't mean he doesn't have a rupa at all. He has a rupa. It's Sachidananda rupa. That's why the word arupa. So there's a very nice verse in about Shvetashvatara Upanishad here. Somebody can read this from here to here. I know that the Supreme Personality got it from here.
May I?
Yeah, please go ahead, please.
I know that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to all material conceptions of darkness, only he who knows him can transcend the bonds of birth and death. There is no way for liberation other than this knowledge of that Supreme Person. There is no truth superior to that Supreme Person because he is the supermost. He is smaller than the smallest and he is greater than the greatest. He is situated as a silent tree and he illumines the transcendental sky. And as a tree spreads its roots, he spreads his extensive energies. From these verses, one concludes that the Supreme Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all pervading by his multi energies, both material and spiritual. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So that's it, devotees. We'll stop here. A simple conclusion here of this verses: there is no truth superior to Krishna. So when you hear somebody saying, okay, somebody is greater than Krishna, or impersonal Brahman is greater than Krishna, material nature or illusion, Maya is greater than Krishna, it is all like, it's illogical. It's just illogical. It's just that because we have not read Bhagavad Gita, we are having that confusion. Okay, it's not for intelligent people, this logic. So once we read Bhagavad Gita, things become very clear. Krishna explains very clearly about himself. There's no doubt about any kind of doubts will not remain. Okay. So only thing is that you have to do is one thing. What is that one thing that you have to do to get all your doubts clarified about Krishna? What is that one thing? Listen. You have to hear. You have to hear. You have to hear from the authority. You have to hear from the authority who is coming in the disciplic succession of Krishna. Simply by following this process, all our doubts get cleared, and Krishna will reveal himself unto all of us. So we'll stop here. So I would like to hear if anybody wants to just share what was your realization like. Okay, how was this chapter? How was it different from the previous 6 chapters? Was there something different, or was it just the same? Or how was it for you? What did you learn? Was there any moment which was like bulb on kind of a moment?
Prabhuji, when you asked us to close our eyes and imagine the 3 form of Vishnu's, so that was the overwhelming moment.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you for
Hare
sharing.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Anybody else, devotees? What is it that struck you today? Which verse?
Prabhuji,
Yes, please.
it's like we open one door and then so many doors are opening. Again, open one more. He's revealing himself to us part by part, part by part. So we have come to a point where now we cannot wait for the next class.
Yeah.
I want it tomorrow itself. Or now itself.
Yes, Mataji. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai. Wonderful attitude. Wonderful realizations. Thank you for sharing, Mataji.
Also, Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita, like when you're hearing, I just pray that most of them read this and understand, and God bless them. So once they understand Bhagavad Gita, I think everybody will be a better person,
Yes.
and the world will be a better place to live in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just pray that everybody gets to listen to, Bhagavad Gita.
Very nice
Because
realization. Nice realization. Yes, Mataji. I mean, the world would be a different place. People would be much kinder. People would be
Right,
much different.
exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Yes,
What is the
Prabhu.
one takeaway for you?
Hare
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So now that you have opened up this chapter, now that the question was that now the soul of an individual is eternal, as it is mentioned in the chapter 2 or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, now how does it correlate with this three Purushas that came before or after? That is something which is sort of a little confusion. How does it go by that?
See,
That when you say
the souls are always present in the stomach of Vishnu. That way.
that way.
They are in the stomach
Yeah,
of Vishnu.
yeah.
They are
ठीक है.
in a what do you say, inactive kind of a thing.
In dormant state.
Yeah, correct. Dormant state. In the night of Mahavishnu, in the night of Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu, all the living entities enter into him.
Haribol, ठीक है. That clears it. Yeah, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.